Okay. The used car market is in absolute shambles, and you might be thinking, how do I know this? Because I sell cars. I work at a car dealership, and I'm witnessing the used car market go all over the place in real time. This video will be discussing exactly what's going on with the used car market, if you should be buying right now, if you should be selling, if you should be waiting. I'm gonna go through everything right here and right now. I always advocate for buying used cars. I'm a big fan of used cars for so many reasons. You're saving so much money, and if you can find the right used car, you're missing out on all the depreciation value, and you're really getting a good, valuable car if you buy the right one. But it has to make sense. And what I'm noticing is that used car prices are actually going down, but the issue is the used car interest rates are going up. So it's kind of canceling each other out, and for some used cars it makes no sense to buy right now, and other used cars it makes a lot of sense to buy right now. So let's talk about that. So let's just get this out of the way now in the beginning of the video. Can you see that? Can you see that? No EVs. The issue with EVs right now is that they hold no value. People just don't really want them. So the used ones are full priced, and if you buy one, you're not going to get nearly what you paid for that car. Right now, EVs are just not it. Is that going to change in the future? Of course, but as of right now, the EV market is just not good. Used and brand new, but really, really bad pre-owned. If you see a pre-owned EV, the dealership had to pay all the money for it, and they're retailing it for all the money, but if you buy it, you might lose 50 to 60% of the value of it immediately. So let's just get that out of the way now. Used EVs, no! Let's move on to some good news. Finally, some good news. The used cars, for the most part, the prices are going down. We're seeing a projection. Every month or so, the used cars are dropping 5 to 10%, roughly, depending on the car, depending on the manufacturer and price, which is actually good news for you. But like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the interest rates as well, and this might cancel each other out, but it does depend on the used car and, of course, your credit score. But for the most part, used car prices are actually going down, and you can potentially, within the next month or so, get a really, really, really good deal on a used car. So what I'm going to do next is show you 4 to 5 really good manufacturers to buy if you're planning on getting used. The ones that are going down in price, that are very reliable, they're going to hold retail value. I'm going to tell you 5 car brands right now. First up, we have Toyota. Toyota used cars have always been some of the best used cars to buy. They are reliable, they're going to last a long time, and they retain their value quite well. So, you know, if you buy a used one, you're going to buy it for a pretty good price, and maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, you put 100K miles on it, you could trade it in and still get a pretty penny for a Toyota. But the issue with them recently is that the used car prices have been very close to a new car price, but right now I see that changing. So Toyota might be a really good, manufacturer to kind of keep your eye on. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, even their pickup trucks aren't too bad, and we're seeing the prices go down on the used Toyotas. Like I've mentioned, I've always been a very big advocate of used cars. I've personally never bought a new car in my life. I've always gotten used cars, and buying a used Toyota is a really, really, really good idea if the price makes sense. In my opinion, a used Toyota has a lot to offer, especially if you get a certified used Toyota and get a really good warranty, no accidents, one owner. You really, really cannot go wrong, but you have to keep your eye out on the prices, because I believe they are going down. Next up, for a good used car that's going down in price, you got Mazda. The Mazda 3, Mazda CX-9, Mazda CX-50. I'm seeing the prices go down pretty drastically on used Mazdas, and guys, they are great cars. When it comes down to reliability, Mazda's up there with Honda, Toyota, Subaru. They make really good high quality cars. They look great, and as long as the prices make sense, I don't see anything wrong with buying a Mazda. The Mazda gets a lot of hate, and I don't know why. Similar to Toyota, the prices on the used ones were a little bit inflated for the past 6 or 7 months, but again, I'm seeing these prices go down. So if you're in the market for a used car, Mazda, Toyota, you might want to start kind of walking towards doing something sooner than later, because those prices are going down. This next one's a little bit of a tricky one, but let's talk about it. Honda prices have been a little bit outrageous, similar to Toyota, for used cars for the past, 6-7 months. But again, I'm seeing a little bit of a trend here. Whatever happens with Toyota, whatever happens with Mazda, Honda's gonna have to follow. It's pure competition, right? Everyone's competing against each other. So at the end of the day, I'm sure Honda prices on the used vehicles will start to decrease little by little, by towards the end of the year. If you want a Honda, keep your eye out on used Honda Civics. Accords, CRVs, keep your eye out on the used Hondas because I believe that they are going to start dropping in price pretty quick. You might have noticed that I've really been talking about Japanese made cars for the used cars being a little bit inflated in price because people know they're reliable. So the second these prices start to drop, you're going to see people jump on these Japanese made cars pretty quick. And that goes for, like I said, Honda, Toyota, Mazda, even Subaru. You know, I'm expecting to see these used car prices drop, but Subaru hasn't really been that bad, you know, compared to other Japanese made cars, but you're going to start seeing these prices drop very, very, very soon, if not today. Another really important thing to keep in mind when we're talking about the used car market, a lot of dealerships, are sitting on tons of used car inventory. I mean, just take a look here. I mean, these are all used cars, as you can see, and there's a lot of them, and this is just one place. You know, if you drive around your local town, you look at used car deals, I mean, there's the inventory. People have inventory. A couple years ago, there was not so much inventory. So when there's a lot of metal sitting on lots, what does that mean? What do dealerships do? They start to reduce the price. And when one dealership does it, it's a domino effect. Other dealerships will do it. So when I talk about Mazda, Subaru, Toyota, Honda, it really goes for a lot of these manufacturers because at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat. All these used cars are in the same boat. And if one starts getting discounted, the rest will have to follow to be competitive. So that's probably the main thing you want to look out for. You want to see dealerships filled up with metal, filled up with cars, because the more cars they have, the more discounts and the more promotions and the more, you know, aggressive deals will be, you know, getting applied to these cars. So that's a really big indicator for me. When I see all these cars start to stack up, it's a really good sign because that means prices are going to start to get slashed and customers are going to come in and buy some cars. So keep your eye out for a lot of cars, a lot of used cars in these lots. I mentioned earlier, I need to bring it up now because it's not really a good thing. I've been seeing interest rates rise on used cars, or just really, you know, cars in general, but especially in used cars. Used cars will always have a higher interest rate than a new car, and right now they're particularly high. So you see prices go down, but interest rates go up. It cancels out each other. But if you hang on the next 2 or 3 months, when it gets closer to 2026, I firmly believe the feds will start lowering these rates pretty aggressively. Very simple, and it's very easy to understand. What comes up must come down, and what's down will come up. Interest rates will be lowering the next 2 or 3 months. I already see, you know, some progress of that happening. Yeah, they're a little bit high on used cars right now. I wouldn't let that be the determining factor for you to stay away from buying a used car. It just depends on what you plan to do, right? You could always pay off a car sooner. You could always pay down the principal sooner. You don't have to pay interest. But if you hang on a couple months, you might see those rates start to lower. Also, the used car prices will continue to lower. So it might be a really big storm for success, and you're getting a really good deal on a used car. Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Mazda, all those manufacturers, I firmly believe that used car interest rates will start to lower. But right now, they're at a pretty high peak. But again, like I said, I know I sound like a broken record, but I firmly believe that they will start to lower with these prices also going lower. And we're really looking at the used car market. It might be back. In this video, I said a whole bunch of good news and I've said some bad news. And another piece of bad news, I get this question a lot. I want to find a 5K reliable used car. Are they still out there? And unfortunately, the answer is no. You're not going to be able to find a good high quality $5 grand car anymore. And trust me, I get it. You want a beater car. You want something just to bang up a little bit. You want a point A to point B car and you want to drop 5K cash. Don't even worry about financing, don't even worry about interest rates. And right now, that's extremely hard to find. I think when it comes down to buying a used car, you just have to get your priorities straight and know what you want to spend and know what you want to buy and just do the best you possibly can. Like I said, I'm a big advocate for used cars. And in this video, I kind of gave you a whole breakdown of the current market of used cars. If you're looking for a 15 to 20K Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Mazda, it's actually a pretty good time to do it. And the prices are going down. So you could get a really good deal, buy a high quality car, and when you're ready to get rid of it, still get a pretty penny for it. And what more could you ask for? I mean, that's all you want out of a used car. You want some good, reliable miles. You want to get it for a fair price. Does it have a couple of dings on it? Does it have a little bit of higher mileage, 60, 70K? Yeah, but if you know you're buying high quality, if you know you're buying something that you could trade out of and still get some, it's still worth money, what's the issue? You know, you're not buying a new car, you're buying a used car, and that's what this video is all about, used cars. Before I end off this video, there's something I absolutely need to talk about, and it's regarding used cars. You have Facebook Marketplace, you have places like Carvana, CarMax, and usually they give you top dollar for your trade-in, they give you top dollar for your car, and they sell used cars. Facebook Marketplace is more independent. Carvana, CarMax, they're more more of a business, right? But they sell used cars, and they usually give people really good value for their used cars. But right now, they're not nearly as strong as they used to be. So keep that in mind. A lot of people might trade their car at a Carvana and go somewhere else with the money they got and go buy a car. I've been hearing people say that Carvana, CarMax have not been nearly as aggressive, and Facebook Marketplace is kind of a mess right now. So just keep your eye out for that. You know, I'm sure they're going to bounce back pretty quick, but things are kind of weird right now in the used car world. But I hope you got value from all the information I gave you. If you did, like, comment for the algorithm, subscribe to my channel. Guys, I'm out.